Welcome to Cut to the Chase, where we talk about compelling legal, regulatory, and public interest information and news. Your host is Greg Goldfarb, an attorney, entrepreneur, investor, and activist.
All right, folks, it's time for our favorite podcast, Cut to the Chase. And I've brought back someone who you might have seen before on my shows, very talented Amy Barrie, who is, among other things, personal trainer, fitness guru, Mass Tort Case Acquisition Specialist, and also on top of all this has launched a clothing line. Very interesting clothing line. There's not just some stylish clothing line, combining her faith and fitness. And the name of the collection is Teleō Collection. And so I thought, I checked it out, very interesting. And I want Amy to come on and talk about this great new thing that you're doing. So Amy, thank you for coming on and taking the time today to talk about the product, the clothing line.
Thanks, Greg. Yeah, definitely my personal training days are over. I have retired out of that. That was probably like my life before I graduated university and then came into the legal advertising space. But yeah, I did that for about 6 years. And then, it's always been a dream of mine to launch my own clothing line, especially in the fitness space. And, I'm a Christian and just very devoted to my faith, and I've just seen, the gifts and the joy and the freedom that Christ has given me and I've experienced through that. And I just have a really big passion on sharing that love with other people. And I thought that the best way how to do that was combine my two passions together and, see where I could take this. So that's how and why Teleō Collection was born.
All right. And so let's start from the top. Teleō Collection. What is the significance of that name?
Sure. Yeah. So originally, the name was the Promise Collection because our purpose of our brand is to sow God's promises into daily life. And so all of our clothing have God's promises inscribed inside the seams of the clothes. And so we were going to go through with Promise Collection, and then we ran into a trademark issue. Which sucked. There was like a ton of work that went on the front end of it. We thought that we had green clear lights to move forward with that name. But after speaking to our lawyer, he was like, we could move forward with this, but I think it's going to get blocked because of X, Y, and Z reasons. And so then a friend of mine was like, you should look at Teleō. I was like, what does Teleō mean? She's like, well, it's the root word of tetelestai. And if you study the life of Christ, especially his crucifixion, you know that that was his last words on the cross before he died, was it is finished. And God sent his son to die for us so that we could have a relationship with God and that we could have eternity in heaven with him. And he sacrificed his son for all of us. And in my opinion, I think that's the greatest gift and the greatest promise fulfillment that anybody could walk through life in. And it just gives all of our lives meaning and a purpose and a hope and a joy for living. And so, yeah, I thought that was, just such a brilliant name for this, and it just resonated so well. So we moved forward with Teleō Collection. But in Latin, it also means to commit to or to follow through, basically be a person of your word and integrity. And so if you aren't faith-based or you aren't spiritual or you aren't Christian, you can still relate to the brand in a way of Teleō meaning to you to just show up for yourself, follow through to what you are wanting to do with your life, the goals that you have set before you, and just don't give up. And so it serves kind of two cups, but yeah, that's what Teleō means and kind of the background on it.
All right. So when you told me that you were doing this, it was sort of hard for me to visualize exactly what you were doing, incorporating faith into fitness wear. So why don't let's share your screen and show us. I think,
Sure.
seeing is believing.
Seeing is believing. There you go. So this is our website, and this is our first collection. It's called Conquering Giants Collection. But just to kind of give you some sort of visual into what the inscribing looks like. I don't know why this is taking me so long to scroll down. So these are our Apex leggings. And so I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, Philippians 13, verse 14. And so this is right tucked into our into the band of the leggings here. So that's just kind of one example. And we have like your classic socks, sports bras. We have your just cute little pieces that kind of defy what regular faith clothing brands look like. Like we did not want to do the original like John 3:16 t-shirt or hoodie that you classically see on Etsy. These are things that are like, women will want to wear and they feel confident and they feel beautiful in them. So it's been just like a lot of time that we went into just the designing phase of it, just so that, we could stand out of the classic fitness faith clothing brands that are currently out there today. So these are just a couple of the key pieces that we have, like our sports bras and our leggings and our outfits and whatnot. So
nice. All right. So what is your thinking in combining faith with fitness wear?
I think that fitness, it served such an important role in my life. Do you want me to still keep sharing this?
Yeah, you can close it
out.
down for now. Maybe we'll
Okay.
come back to it later.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so like a little bit of my testimony, I lost my dad when I was 16, and I was always an athlete growing up, and him and I always did my sports games together. He always took me skiing. I used to downhill ski race for a few seasons, volleyball, everything, and sports, and just played such an instrumental role in my life and my relationship with my dad. And when I lost him, I actually tore my rotator cuff as well. And so that kind of derailed my volleyball plans that I had and pushed me into bodybuilding. And so I started bodybuilding my first week of university. I like signed up for a gym membership right away, asked for a personal trainer, and just asked if I could start working there as well. And just kind of learned as I go. I had found mentors that I really respected and that I wanted to learn from, and I just kind of threw myself all in. So working full time, full course load, and it just working out for me was such a saving grace in my grieving process. Also so toxic at the same time because I really utilized it the wrong way. It kind of played a double-edged sword in my grieving process. I could tune out all the noise. I could push my body to limits that, hurt, and I could get out a lot of anger in that way. But it also kind of I started isolating myself as well throughout that entire process. And so I went through such a transformative time over the 5 years that I was in school, especially with fitness. I was a coach. I also trained other people who did bodybuilding and bikini modeling. I coached kids during sports camps and was a coach for a couple of different volleyball teams, like my nephew's volleyball team. So sports, like I said, it served just a really important role in my life. And then my faith I was always a Christian growing up, and I have always known that God has such a purpose for my life, and he has a purpose for everybody's lives. And I've just been able to really experience that childlike love between God and myself, which I'm so grateful for. Um, and I, give a lot of credit to my parents on how they raised me, and I'm just so thankful for that. But during that grieving process was when I really truly made my faith my own, and I got to develop my own relationship with God, not just fall in line with some religion hierarchy. And that's where I truly found freedom, was when I did shift my perspective on the relationship of what that meant to me. And I won't go down into too much detail of it. We can, talk about that later. But long story short, I ended up in a pretty dark place in my 5th year of school. I had a handful of eating disorders from bodybuilding. Everything online and on my Instagram was like, this chick has it all together. But I was crumbling inside for sure. And there were just I was being very much spiritually attacked, and like I had anxiety, depression, suicidal thoughts. I was getting really heavily into drugs and all of that kind of stuff. And it wasn't until I got invited into a Bible study group at my school called Athletes in Action. And it's the same Bible study that my dad used to do, and he was at the University of Calgary, but it was called Christ for Crusaders. And so in that time, I was also launching a few different businesses when I was in university. I like launched my own clothing line, Andra. And so I had a little bit of experience with entrepreneurism. And so they decided to bring me down. Athletes in Action was only like an athlete, UFC athlete Bible study. But because I did this whole bodybuilding thing, I went on a few shows and I had this entrepreneurial experience. They invited me into the group, and they were going to Rwanda in 2017 for like their outreach program. And so I got invited to go on that trip. We were launching the first co-op program down there for women. And so I was able to launch that group, that co-op program with that group, with the Kelly Darter House down in Kigali there. And God just like, I had a very full encounter with God during that trip. And I will always say that those people did more for me than I could ever do for them. And that trip totally changed my life. And I just was able to experience the love of God again and the love of Christ again. And that's just where my passion for this new renowned life and gift that I had of just living in joy and freedom and, really experiencing what that relationship walk with Christ is like. And so fast forward a few years, I was completely broke after university, as all kids are. And that's when I got thrown into my internship with Broughton Partners, was a few months after that Rwanda trip. And so, as I developed my career and as I, grew up, as I like to say, I now I had the opportunity earlier this year to actually start building my dream on building Teleō. And so I don't do anything without purpose in my life. If I don't have a passion for it, I just don't think that there's any purpose to it. And so Broughton Partners has served such an amazing role in my life of helping people and changing this industry and for so many things. But my heart also is missing this void of me creating something and me pursuing my dream of starting a faith-based fitness line. And so I was at Tony Robbins' Date with Destiny last December. And if you've ever been to a Tony event, you know what I'm talking about. But if you haven't, go do one. It's also life changing. But I just had this big urge and this big call to jump in and start creating Teleō, or the Promise Collection. And so I went full throttle at the end of December, and I started designing, and I started getting kind of my ducks in a row and figuring out what the next collection would look like, and figuring out, the values behind Teleō and how we're going to impact and how we're going to scale. And we've launched on August 31st this year, my husband's birthday. I thought that was fitting, and we've crossed just a little over 100 sales. So we've ran into some roadblocks, as every business does, but we're just kind of learning as we go. We're going with the punches, but God has just been so faithful in every step of the way, with just showing me that this is something that he wants me to pursue in. And it's if it's God's will for you, there's no way that you can fail at it. So that's where we're at.
All right. So exactly what are you putting in the, what, I know we talked God's promises. How are you selecting what to put in the fabric?
Like, you mean the spandex versus nylon?
No. Actually, the words that you're using.
Oh, yeah, sure. So the first collection is called Conquering Giants. And so, just based off kind of my short version of my testimony that I just shared with you, I think we can all relate on, overcoming adversity and being confronted with just massive giants in our lives. And I truly believe that God can conquer all giants within us that we're ever faced with, because if he didn't bring you to it, if he brought you to it, he'll bring you through it. And I'm a firm believer of that. And so I hand selected about 6 verses for the first collection that have really been instrumental in my life over the last few years, that have just helped me walk through some pretty dark things. And so, for example, Psalms 27 verse 1, the Lord is my light and my salvation, whom shall I fear? And that verse, to anybody, if you're walking through a diagnosis, if you're walking through a business loss, if you're walking through any kind of grief at all, that verse alone, light and salvation, who shall I fear? There's nobody that you have to fear when you have God on your side, because he's already winning the battle for you. He's already fighting for you. And so that's just kind of one example. Another example is this short, it's a pretty short verse, but it just, again, has so much impact. Matthew 19, verse 26, with God, all things are possible. And so there's about 5 other ones I could go through, but those are kind of some examples of what we're sewing in our clothing, because we just want to preach hope. We just want to preach life. And, because life can be really heavy. And if you're not walking through it with God, you're just giving yourself, it's like walking in a black tunnel with no lamp. So it's, it can be tough, but these verses can just, pour in so much life for people.
Now, I think full and well that I am a fashionista, and when I go places, people flock to me for, see what I'm wearing, get my take on things like that. So I'm going to ask you some fashion questions related to this, this collection here. Well, talk to me about the design aesthetic. Could you describe it in my 3 words?
Yes, it would be like sporty, chic athleisure, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's 3 words. All right. And now you listen, you jump into this world, it's ever changing, styles come and go. How are you going to stay up to date on the latest fashion trends and incorporate them into your to the designs in the future, the next collection, let's say?
Yeah. So being a faith-based brand, we can't really follow mainstream. We are called to be different. And so that's one of the things when I'm designing the next collection is how can women, when they wear our clothes, first of all, honor God? And I think one of the mistakes that I made in this first collection was going with, some risque pieces, in my opinion. And I think for the next collection, I'm really being called to design more modest pieces for women, but still in the same breath serve in a way where they can like put it on and feel confident and feel beautiful in it. So those are kind of some things that I think about especially when we're working on our second launch here. Is what kind of pieces can stand out, what kind of pieces can make women feel really confident and beautiful in, especially for their workout, and what kind of pieces can honor the Lord while these women are in the gym. So that's my answer to that. It's a little bit of a different answer than you were probably expecting, but
Yeah, I have no expectations at this point, but talk to me.
Great.
I used to have expectations. Too
No,
many
you
of them.
can't.
No, it's better not to.
Yeah.
All right. So talk to
Yeah.
me. Do you like have any designers that are sort of like your influence, or you're like,
It's just kind of me who's the head of everything right now. There's like, definitely the core five fitness brands that kind of set the stage when it comes to trends in the women's workout world. But like I said, the first answer, I think that we're just called to be different. And so yeah, there's no really other brand in the fitness space, in the fitness space that's doing what we do. So
gotcha. So, the other, like you mentioned in this space, like you're talking about like Lululemon kind of stuff and Nike.
like, yeah, like your Buff Bunny, your ALO, your Lululemon, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to hit you with this one. I know you don't want to hear this, but talk about the materials you're using. Are they eco-friendly, sustainable? I'm not going to be happy if I don't get the answer that I want, but go for it.
Yeah. So our Titan collection is eco-friendly. So we use recyclable fabrics within the making of those pieces. Other parts of our clothing are not sustainable and eco-friendly, but that's definitely something that we are looking at for the next collection. I don't think that people understand how expensive it is to source really high ethical fabrics. And so definitely for a first launch of a business, we kind of were at the short end of the stick in that front. But moving forward, I think we're really interested in looking at like cotton and linen fabrics, just because when you look at the frequency that those fabrics produce compared to a spandex or a nylon, and the PFAS that's related to spandex and nylon, we really want to, be a brand that is safe for women and that has those kinds of things in mind. And so I think as we're learning and being exposed to just how entrenched PFAS is into all of the different industries and all of the different products that we use in our day-to-day life, it's definitely something that we're thinking about and going to be incorporating for, the next collection and beyond in the brand.
Can you share with us some about the next collection? Some info, or you want to keep that on the download?
I can tell you that the next collection is going to be called If, and it's based off of Romans 8, and that's all that I'm going to tell you.
All right. So, you started in late August. You launched this. You're sort of a rookie in this space. How is it being in this space? Like, how do you make sales? How do you sell? If I'm interested in buying this for my girlfriend.
Yeah. So I'm Canadian, so I'm going to start with that, and that gives me some disadvantages. I will say this, if you are an American, it is so easy to start your own business and to capitalize on all of the cool sources that you can sell on, like TikTok. You have to be an American to sell on TikTok, and that is an exploding industry right now. So I'm very jealous of all the Americans. So we're not on TikTok right now, but we are on Instagram shop. We are on, we have our website, the teleocollection.com. So we ship to, all countries in North America on our e-com store. And so that's probably like we ship within 2 to 5 days. So it's a very, very quick turnaround time. So those are the places that you can find us: our Instagram, Teleō Collection, at Teleō Collection, or our website, teleocollection.com. And yeah, we sell sizes from extra small to extra large. There's only 20 pieces per size in each color, so it is a very limited collection. And I believe we're just approaching halfway sold out, and Black Friday is right around the corner, so we're going to be starting our sales on Monday. So I'm confident that we're going to be sold out at the end of December, but we'll see.
All right, so you've done some pop-ups, and I'm assuming you're going to do some more pop-ups.
We will see. The online sales are going pretty well, actually. So I don't know if we'll have the capacity to do other pop-ups, but for our launch party, we did a fundraiser for Kids Sport Calgary, and we did a pop-up store there at Recon Fitness, which is this really cool boutique gym in Calgary, Alberta. They design boutique gyms as well for like your house or other boutique gyms, that kind of stuff. They invent their own machines. So that was really fun doing it there. But I don't know if we would do much more pop-up things, just with me also being away from my inventory. So with living in Mexico, all my inventory is in half in our warehouse in Canada and half in our Miami warehouse. So yeah, just number one, logistics, I don't think they would work. And two, I just don't think we would need to.
Now, I know you mentioned the TikTok shop and you're not American.
Yeah.
So I think you should listen to my last episode. I had someone come on talking about social commerce, and we did talk about alternatives to the TikTok shops. So there are lots of alternatives, but you have to listen to that and download that episode. All right.
Okay, cool.
So,
We'll do that right now.
all right, let's share the screen one more time. I'd like you to kind of go through the accessories as well as the clothing that you offer.
Sure. Yeah. So we have a really beautiful workout mat. This is our Warrior workout mat. It is also made out of recyclable material, but it's like the material on top, it provides a little bit of word squishy. It is the most beautiful yoga mat I have ever used in my life, or that I've seen on the market. So yeah, so this is it, and it has a really beautiful rounded tip at the top. So that's probably one of my top 5 items, my favorite items in the store.
But men can buy that as well and use it themselves.
Yes. Yeah, of course. Everything is neutral colors too. So, it's versatile. Yeah. And it's also 100% vegan leather, so eco-friendly material. And so we were really thrilled with how these came out. And so that's one of our favorite products. And then we also have our socks. They come in black and white, the Teleō socks. They're just cute little mid calf socks, and men or women could wear those. I know guys that wear them. My husband wears them all the time. And so we have our Apex Ascent leggings. I apologize. Our Ascent line is actually the eco-friendly, not our Titan. So these are eco-friendly, and these come in our Astral Onyx color, our Vanilla Velvet, and our coffee, and our coffee color here. So why isn't that? So those are our Ascent leggings. And And then we have the matching shorts with it. Again, those come in the same color. And then the matching sports bra, the Apex sports bra, that comes in the same color as those. Our champion climb jacket is probably in my top 5 favorite pieces as well. And this one also comes in vanilla velvet. It's just really cute. It's great for running. It's great for training, all versatile things. These crop long sleeves are super cute. They're super casual, really fun. And those ones come in black and also our cedar color. And then our Freedom crop t-shirt, those are in the same family too. It's just basically the t-shirt version of that. And then our giant Slayer shrug is in my top 5 favorite. This is really cute with the Apex. It's really cute with the Titan twist bra. And so you can wear that with leggings or shorts, and it just kind of gives you a little like spice elevated look to your workout. But because of the material, it's super stretchy, so you can do it on like a leg day, an arm day, cardio day, whatever. Our oversized stride hoodie is also top 5 favorite. I wear this hoodie, I think, every day, every other day. It's great for cardio. It's great for traveling. It's great for all of the things in between. Our peak ascent jacket is really popular. Girls love the cropped look and how it comes down on the bottom to give like that crop, but also full look. And so that one comes in the coffee and also black. So that one has been a really big hit. Oh, and then the Seamless Warrior, top 5 favorite. This comes in vanilla velvet, Astra Onyx, and black. It's just one of my favorite pieces. You can dress it up, you can dress it down, you can do kind of whatever you want with it. Also great for traveling if you don't like traveling in leggings. Sprinter Champion shorts, the 6-inch ones, I probably wear these, like I said, every day, if not every other day. They're a great trainer short for all the things in between fitness. Same with our Sprinter long sleeve. It's just your classic black long sleeve compression shirt. Great for skiing if you live in colder areas, and it's also great for training, all of those things in between. And then just your classic black tank top. I live in this as well. And then, we walked through the warrior mat and the socks. And these are for the girls that love like more of the cropped look. So this is our Titan line. This is the Titan crop jacket, the Titan scrunch leggings. They have a little bit of a scrunch in the butt. So to accentuate the glutes, and also the Titan sports bra. So that is our line. Oh, I forgot. So the Titan scrunch shorts, which we talked about, and then the Victory sports bra is something with the higher crew neck for girls who are a little bit larger up there. And I would say the Titan twist sports bra is for girls that are kind of a little bit smaller up there too. So that's my line. So
that's really impressive.
It's very versatile. We wanted to be really inclusive when it came to all different sizes. So, thinking about the smaller athletes out there to the larger athletes out there, and also just being able to, be something that women could go to, like I said, to feel confident in the gym, but while also carrying the promises of God through them, throughout anything that they were walking through. So that's the line.
Nice. So, you talk about the gym, but I think you also mentioned that one of these products was also for like skiing.
Yeah, the compressive long sleeve, I would say that this is great as like you're hiking, you're skiing, if you're doing some things outdoors, if you're running like in a marathon in something in like Calgary, it would be perfect weather for something like that. And then Also, the Champion Climb Jacket is also a great outdoor piece too. It's like compressive, you can layer it. It's something that is a key staple in my wardrobe. So,
All right. Is there anything else you want to add to this episode? I don't want to hold.
no,
No.
I think we covered it all. I'm just really grateful that you asked me to be a part of it and to share my passion project with you and all of your listeners. So
Yeah, no, it's been fantastic, and I like to be able to present, new information and new stuff to my audience. It doesn't have to be all lawyer centric. And I'm thrilled, listen, I'm always very happy to see the younger generation, and you're the younger generation than me, really be into their faith. I want them to really be into their faith, have passion, like you say, and that somehow or another figured out a way to combine faith, fitness and fashion is really unbelievable, and I applaud you for that. And so
thank you.
one fashionista to another. That will do it for this episode of Cut to the Chase.
Yeah.
If you were like, oh my God, I forgot the name of Teleō Collection. How do I find this? I need to buy this. It'll all be in the show notes. I want you to subscribe. If you're listening, subscribe. It's going to help my channel out and all that. And so I can continue to provide this diverse array of information with talented people like Amy Barrie. Amy, I know you go back to work. All right. So I'm going to let you get back to work. But thanks for coming on.
All right. Take care, Greg. Thanks again. Bye.
That's all for this episode of Cut to the Chase. But before you go, will you open up your podcast app and give us a 5-star review? You can also leave a comment about what you liked most or other topics you'd like us to cover. And please be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming shows. Thanks, everybody. Be safe out there.